Hello everyone, I am LoreChirik and today we're gonna create Granny's basement as a miniature in Polymer clay. So guys, let's get started by unpacking the clay. I'm gonna make first the base of Granny basement, so I mixed white and gray clay, and now I'm gonna place this layer of clay onto my technical sketch, and out of it we're gonna cut the shapes of the base. After it's done, we're just gonna move the base onto the baking tray, and now guys, we're gonna make the walls. We're gonna make the 4 walls. 4 of them will have the same dimensions and 2 of them will have a door entrance. And as you see, I use the technique that I just place the elements on my sketch and I just cut the elements from it to match the sketch. So now guys, we're gonna make the first secret room of Granny. This is the room with the stairs. To go to this room, you just have to move some crates from the wall and you will see the entrance. Then you have to crawl in a tunnel, but we're gonna make this tunnel later. Right now, as you see, I just created 4 walls, the base for the secret room, and now we're gonna make the stairs. So we just gonna fold the clay and then we're gonna try to make the rectangle shape out of it. We're gonna help ourselves with the plastic ruler, and then when this piece of clay is looking like a rectangle, we're gonna match the size. So as you see, I just cut it to the size of the ceiling of the one wall, and then I just mark where I need to cut, and then I just cut it, and after that I'm gonna mark the stairs, and once again I'm just gonna cut through the lines. And when I'm doing this, there is time for the questions and comments. So let's get started with the first question. Can't wait to see the house. Yeah, I also can't wait to see the full house of Granny's. But for now guys, we just created in the previous video Granny garage, in this video Granny basement, and I think it's like 3 more levels of this house, and also the garden and also the outside of the house. Because guys, I also not only want to create the interior of the house, I also want to create the outside. But I think this will be like the final step. This will be like in a few weeks. We're gonna create the wall textures, windows, doors, some of the garden, and this whole structure will be removable like a dollhouse. But for now, let's just focus on today's video, which is Granny basement. I think this creation and the video will be a little bit longer than the previous video because we got 1 large room and 2 secret tiny rooms and 2 tunnels. And speaking of the secret room, as you see guys, right now I'm creating the tiniest room. In this room we just got a table and I think that's it. But this room is just made like out of the ground or something because the walls are brown in the game. Right now I'm making the wood supports, and after we got it, we're gonna make the tunnel. This tunnel leads us to another space, which is the garden. At first, when I just played the Granny's game, I was in this space and I didn't know that it was the garden, but a few days ago I was once more time in this space and I just realized that this is a garden because when we look up we see some of the Granny's house, some windows, we see that there is a night outside and we see the barbed wires on the fence, so that's for sure the garden. So let's get back to the creation. I just created this room, so I just place everything on my baking tray, and right now I'm making the table for the main room. On this table in the game we see a few items that we need to get to escape from the Granny's house. I think those things are random when we first log into the game, but when I logged to take some screenshots in my game, there was a gasoline on the table and the picture of Granny. So right now you saw that I just created the gasoline tank. We're gonna make the tiny elements, which is I think a pipe. And right now we're gonna make the picture. I think it was the picture of Granny or something, or maybe the family of Granny, I don't remember. So let's place it on the baking tray. And right now we're gonna make the barrels. Guys, I have a question for you. What do you think? What is in these barrels? What Granny hide into those barrels? And while I'm creating them, there is time for another comment. This comment is from the Cat Tower video. Cat was having fun, I want to be in here. I saw like thousands of comments like this, and every time I saw a comment like this I laugh, because that would be very funny to see a human inside of this cage for the cats. If my neighbors would see something like that I'm keeping kids in the cage, I'm pretty sure that this wouldn't end happy for me. But actually, guys, there is a way to get inside, because this tower was created this way that I can open it. It have 4 doors. It was designed that way because I thought if, for example, one of my cat would stuck in there or didn't want to get back to the house, I will just open the doors and take the cat manually. But something like that never happens, because they always get back to the home. Especially now when there is winter and cold outside, they spend there like half an hour and they just go back to the home, because this cage is connected to the house. We forgot to film it, but there is an entrance that connects one of the tunnels to the window, and in the window it's like a little square that cat fit into. It's actually in my tiny basement. I don't have that huge basement like Granny. My basement, it's like one of the tiniest room in this creation, and the only thing that I kept in there is like a refrigerator. But yeah, overall my cats love this tower, and they love especially the tunnels. I don't see them very often sitting in the tower, but instead of this I see them very often in the tunnels. But guys, let's get back to our creation. As you see right now, I'm creating the black crate doll. There is an object like this in the Granny basement. We're gonna place it on the baking tray, and then we're gonna make the columns. There is 4 columns in the Granny basement, and this thing I don't have idea what it is, but there is something like this in the Granny house. When you go to the Granny garage and the back, there is something like this. I don't have idea what it is. If you know, let me know in the comments. And now guys, we're gonna make the second tunnel. This tunnel is also very narrow, and we're gonna place it on the baking tray. Right now we're gonna make so hidden place in the stairs. I think to open this in the game you just need some kind of the screwdriver, and there is something inside. And now guys, I'm just cut the stairs, because I just figured out that these need to connect with the Granny's garage. You will see at the end how it will look. But now guys, everything is created. We're going to the oven, and the next step is the painting. So we're gonna just remove everything from the baking tray. Some elements stick very hard, so I have to help myself with the blade. It takes all of the space on the baking tray. This creation will be pretty big for a miniature. Yeah, let's just remove tiny little elements, and now we're gonna paint it. So I just pour some of the paints on my pour palette. This palette is very old. It have paint stains on it from like few years, and because of this stained paint is so thick that I don't even see the original structure of this palette. So when the colors are done, we're gonna pour some colors onto the base, some of the brown, some of the black. We're gonna make some of the black drops and the red big squash of blood. It is actually a blood, guys, and which blood is it? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? What happened in this basement? Now we're gonna paint the walls, and this thing on the wall, I think it's something for electricity. We're gonna paint the one of the secret rooms of Granny, the columns, And while I'm doing this, there is time for another comment. So, you dyed your hair? Yes, I dyed my hair at the beginning of this year. I do it because I just needed a change. I was just bored with my current color of the hair, so I thought, why not do it? And now guys, let's back to the creation. As you see, I'm painting the tiny elements. Yes, my hands are very dirty, but don't worry, I'm using the water-based paints, so it's easily washable. And as you see right now, my hands are clean. We're gonna remove everything from the painting tray. And guys, my favorite part, gluing this thing together. It's like a puzzles. Some of those elements I need to cut to just fit the other elements, for example the walls. I'm using the super glue. So guys, if you're making this creation with me, or maybe you are inspired by this to make your own creation, always remember to be careful with the glue. So now I'm just gluing the tiny elements like this table with the blood on it, and the column, and the little silver plate. And when I'm gluing all those things, there is time for another comment. How long does the fimo soft or professional clay stay fresh or usable? Well, from my experience, the only clay that I have problem with was fimo professional, because when you buy the clay, when you use it from like 1 month of buying, everything is good. But when this clay sits on the table not used in the original packaging for like half a year, it might be brittle, and you have to spend like 10 to 20 minutes to condition these brittle elements into one piece, which is really time consuming. I didn't saw this problem with the fimo soft, probably because fimo soft have more oil in it. Because of that, it's much softer, and mainly because of that, I'm just now using only the fimo soft. And that was the answer. Guys, you often ask me in the comments what I listen to during sculpting. Do I listen to music or do I listen to silence? No, I listen to audiobooks, and today's sponsor is a service where I got my audiobooks from. It's Audible. They have a largest selections of audiobooks on the planet, and whenever I sit to create something in clay, I just turn on Audible on my device and pick a book. Yesterday I started listening to a new horror book, which is It by Stephen King, and I really enjoy it so far. So guys, if you also like listening to audiobooks, go to audible.com/LoreChirik or text LoreChirik to 500 500 on your phone, and you will get 30-day trial and 1 audiobook. Audible members got 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals, which is pretty nice deal. You can bring it everywhere with you because it's available on all mobile devices. I take it with me on the gym because I signed myself recently on the gym. Yes, it's my 2019 goal. Okay guys, audible.com/LoreChirik, link is in the description. And now guys, let's see the final result. So as you see guys, we're gonna connect the garage that we made in the previous video with the basement of granite that we made today, and that's the final effect guys. Make sure to leave a like. In the next video we're gonna probably make the first floor of granny house. This will be on the Wednesday. Maybe in the Friday there will be another video on another topic, but for now I can't guarantee it to you. Check out how I created Granny's car and Granny's garage, and see you on Wednesday. We're gonna create the first floor of Granny's house.